오른쪽 거 쏘면 인구수 자체가 50 가까이 차이 날 수 있어요. GSL
들어싸우나요?
째는 게 너무 완벽했기 때문에
생애 최초로 16강에 올라갑니다. 와, 진짜 신입어.
Round of 16.
It's my turn now.
GSL Season 2, Codex, Renaissance.
Welcome back. It's time for the final best of 3 in tonight's GSL Cobalt. We are about to wrap up Group A. We have 2 players who have, I guess, throughout all of GSL, we would not be saying these are, of course, round of 8 players. Hurricane and RagnaroK. These were like the extras of GSL. These were like in the old Star Trek show where they had to introduce one new character. You knew that guy was going to die at the end. That's what these guys were, because that's back when they didn't kill main characters. Well, now it's different. Either Hurricane or RagnaroK is going to get to the round of 8. We've seen a huge improvement, not just in the results as far as how far they get in GSLs. We've seen them playing better than ever before. So I'm excited for whoever moves on, but I'm also sad for the loser, because we've been casting these games, the games of these players, for a long time. And frankly, I'm fan of both of them now, man. They're looking really good.
Yeah, it's nice to see this rise, getting some new players up there. Cobalt, our first map. So very cool to see some of these new maps.
Cobalt, my friends. Okay, let's go to game 1 on our 4-player map. Hurricane versus RagnaroK.
Did you say Cobalt?
Cobalt.
Well, that would be ear.
Oh.
Hurricane. Storm Gaming, RagnaroK.
Whoa. Big support for RagnaroK here. There were people cheering for Hurricane, though.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad. Don't be sad.
All right. Well,
we have like every symbol here. There's
actually...
nuclear waste here. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Also, don't do this. Nuclear waste here.
It doesn't seem like every symbol, but 2 symbols everywhere.
I thought we might see some more.
Yeah.
We actually had the repair symbol earlier, but I missed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
there it is. There it is. You can repair over here, but there's nuclear waste over there.
Can you land anything there? I don't think so, right?
Over here, there's an alarm going off. Don't expand here. Do not expand here. That's what that symbol means. Oh, you rebel.
Mistakes. This is so funny. 4-player maps.
Yep.
I'm all for 4-player maps, by the way.
I think as long as we keep mixing it up with maps, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah. We don't need any more maps that look like Ohana, that's for sure.
Which means friendship or family. Sorry, I messed the meme up.
You are on top of the memes.
Oh, man.
Meme Lord Tasteless here.
Now, as the game goes on here, what kind of tech are we going to have? We're going to go into Robo, get a timing attack? Are we going to have something older, like Stargate, get a couple oracles out here?
I think you got to go Stargate. Like,
yeah?
No, I guess he's not. He's getting his warp gate right away, so unsure. I think that, like, The map is pretty big. The map is pretty long. I don't feel like a timing attack is as likely to work. Yeah, something like this makes sense though. Just insta Twilight. This could be the DT-based Archon drop, or it could be like a Glaives or Charge all in. I think both those are all right.
The Overlord's coming in now. Let's see if it scouts that.
Yeah, something like.
Did he see it? Did he see
Oh
it? He
my
did
gosh,
not.
he did not. It's crazy.
Damn, you know.
You know, yeah. Something like an Immortal Push, though. The problem I have with an Immortal Push is, like, you're making your Mortals and you're walking them across this long map. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe a DT-based Archon drop, then? Yeah. There we go.
Now, this is... It's an older style. That doesn't mean it's bad or it's obsolete. It's just something that we've definitely seen a good amount of.
I think it's actually pretty decent right now.
No, yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. I think there's a reason why it's still being used here. And so you can have it where you try to spring the DTs on them and get some quick damage that way. But you also have the option to just go into Archons.
Yeah.
You know, if you've watched GSL's past, you've heard this before. But you know, the Archon drop is definitely something that is a really strong way to play the game. By the way, Zealot Legs coming here as well. If you're to do an Archon drop, Archons are almost entirely shields. Warp Prism pickup distance is huge, and it's not the hardest thing to do to fly around with a Warp Prism, shave off Zerg units, and as long as you don't lose the Archons or the Warp Prism, you've lost nothing.
Yeah. We've seen some real cost efficiency with that.
But I think Zerg players have really adapted to this. They've gotten much better than we've seen in the past about trying to hold off certain attacks, especially ones like this. But build order randomization, if you're going to go big picture, it's important that you're not doing the same thing every time, or people will simply counter you. You can experience this on the ladder when you encounter the same guy and he really only has one trick, and you keep seeing him do the same thing, and after a couple games, you're never going to lose to that guy again because he can't mix it up. It's even more pronounced in best of threes and tournament plays, especially if you're a prominent enough pro gamer that your games are out there and studied. So I think it's a good idea to bring a build like this, at least to start things off. And here come the two DTs now.
Look at that, going after the Spore immediately after a couple drone kills.
Yeah, and the Spore actually
so
goes
annoying.
down, so he can get several more drones. Now the Overseer's going to come up. In fact, can he even get the Queen here? No, probably not. That's too ambitious.
But it's good damage. Look at this, between the two Adepts and these two DTs, it's a Spore kill, a few Lings, and 11 drones.
Yeah,
really
and it went unpunished. So he's going to warp in a few more units here. We're going to turn this into an Archon. And this is where, okay, so the initial damage has been done. Now comes the follow-up push. Zerg's put in a position where they need to rebuild economically from their losses. If they were to keep making an army, Protoss should outpace them, especially if you have that many workers killed. So this is where Protoss continues to harass, but there is going to be a push, which is an attempt to throw the Zerg off of the balancing act.
Some Immortals are being made here. Oh, look at that. The Zealots actually do go down and engage some Lings.
This is really cute. It's like he kind of has some Zealots out there to fight in the front, but then he kind of has some Warpins over here.
Yeah.
And it seems like
really well.
it's really spreading the Protoss too thin. Now, of course, he does not manage to keep the Archon alive. One is alive, but like barely. Go. And so the harass is going to end. But that was an unusual split with armies in that harass.
Yeah.
Now, Zerg survives it. The question now is RagnaroK back on his feet? Are there going to be other opportunities? Because I said it was going to be a follow-up push to do more damage. It's not. It's actually a third base. He's going to play much more conservatively.
Well, there is definitely a follow-up push coming when you open up with the
just not on
DT
two
Archon
bases.
drop. Yeah. A lot of times, I think what the strongest follow-up is to make a lot of Immortals, Archons charge lots, and your third base, and then just move out again.
Yeah.
And just like keep pressure on your opponent, because this is a build where it's a little bit harder to get into Psy Storm cleanly. So keeping the pressure on your opponent is good.
And a lot of that's because it was a DT tech to get the Archons out.
Yeah. You already kind of have the Archon tech, and to spend even more gas to get the high
Yeah.
Templar attack.
The
is
DT
kinda-
tech is kind of a quick shortcut to get Archons.
Yeah, it is.
Where you're getting something early on, which is like kind of cheaper Archons, but you're also giving up late game tech, which is DTs. And so, in this case, the follow-up push is the most sensible one. So it's going to be 3 bases. I thought it was going to be 2 for some reason, but
well, it's
he's gonna
mostly
come
yeah. I mean, it's mostly a placeholder Nexus. It's not fully saturated or anything.
It's like you're taking it not for like, oh well, now I
He'll
exactly
keep
my
playing.
safe expand. You just
This is definitely not all in. Like,
well,
he might turn
a
around.
lot of games are won when you did so much damage, but they barely survived. But you did so much damage with your third base, you just kind of take a lead from there.
Yeah, yeah. Some very good force fields going down. He actually clears quite a few roaches there. We saw him losing Archon, take a couple vials here, losing some of his sentries. A couple vials actually end up connecting.
Landing right on the Immortals, but I think this is too much damage. We're starting to see too many Archons, too many Immortals, and not enough anything Zerg here. He can actually edge his way into the third base. Can he actually snipe down the Warp Prism? Here we go!
Wow!
Oh, it lives!
Wow! He had to
the
commit
balls.
so hard because it
And
was
he
a beautiful
still
warp
warps in
warp
right
location.
there. GG, Hurricane
My
takes
God.
game 1. Crazy.
It was a great, I didn't even realize for a second there, he had to get so close because it was over the smoke, so he just could not see it.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Good call.
Yeah, so he actually super committed to kill it, didn't get it, and that's GG.
Look at that face on RagnaroK. That's oh.
Yeah, it's a frustrating one to just die to the follow-up push.
Yeah.
I mean, Hurricane played it very, very well. It seems like if you just do straight Immortal pushes, RagnaroK has your number a bit, but some of these harassment into it, that does a little bit more to conceal exactly when you're moving out, exactly the strength of your army. He's having a bit of a harder time there.
We're going to go to new Repugnancy for game number 2. Now, Hurricane opened up with a little bit of an older style. Obviously, it's still viable. DT dropped, killed about 11 drones. I think it was exactly 11, actually. And then went into Archon Harass. It wasn't the best Archon Harass, but it also didn't matter that much because already that initial attack had done so much. Then he wins with a push. Let's see what he does in game number 2. RagnaroK showing very solid late game style. If he can get to that late game, he might be a real threat to Hurricane.
Hurricane. Storm Gaming, RagnaroK.
Cool.
Cool. So the probes blocked the second hatchery. So the second hatch goes to where the third hatch normally is. Common way to just sort of take some control early on.
It's very
in the
annoying
game.
for Zerg.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of attack to pair with this. I know that Adepts early on were exploited for situations like this where your creep's not quite defended, but I feel like Zergs, especially in 2019, are much better at handling Adepts. The Adept was sort of this unit that was great for comedy in RTS when it first came out because there was no unit that moved like that in RTS. So
Yeah, it
it's
was
like
very novel.
on both sides, players were struggling with it. You'd see some players shade their Adepts into corners and they get stuck and killed, and then other times Zerg couldn't split correctly. So there was this whole learning process for all the pros involved of trying to kind of get a handle on it. But also the Adept was stronger. Blizzard patched it after a while. But
yeah, it got a few nerfs.
yeah, because it was actually...
It was pretty crazy.
It was pretty hilarious.
They were just making it and killing people.
I remember casting a game of the one game I thought someone was going to survive in an Adept harass, and it was Morrow, and he was playing like the game of his life, holding these Adepts everywhere. And I said, okay, he did it. It's done. We're going to go into mid-game. And then like 50 Adepts shade up. As I'm saying it, I start laughing.
Yeah.
As I'm like, okay, never mind. Couldn't believe it.
Remember that.
But yeah, it's a different time now. There is a robo being made, though, so that should telegraph some kind of a timing attack here.
Yeah, it looks like just straight up an Immortal push should be coming. Oh, extra lings being made. I was wondering, like, what are
The Korean commentators are going nuts, and I'm like, yeah, I see the robo. But
I'm like, yeah, he's chasing the probe with the lings. It's cool. Oh, he can't quite get in. Good try.
Good job. He needs to get this wall in, though. Speedlings are a real threat.
A lot of lings.
Speedlings are also, uncommon at this level of play to try to just go for it. But, if the wall-in's not up, there's a reason why you see Protoss wall-in early, guys, is they're actually pretty frail early on. And if they're not here to defend...
That gate's going to go up in like a second, though.
He needs to... Okay.
He can bust the gate, though. He has enough lings.
Yeah, it hasn't gained enough HP in the warp in.
Those 6 lings, I'm not sure if those are enough. But
Okay, so this is a funny little timing attack. Yeah, this is designed... Oh, my God, he did it. How funny.
Well, it seems like he wanted to let him in. Oh, what? Probes are actually doing quite a good job blocking here. You know what? I think that this was a very clutch call from Hurricane.
Yeah. No, you are totally correct in your analysis there, Artosis. He wanted to let that in because that way the lings get wedged over there, and then he can fill it with a battery. Oh my God, Hurricane is so good.
That was
when you
really
win
well
like
done.
this on the ladder, this is like the ultimate moment where you go, yeah, I'm just better than you.
Yeah.
Get out. What league are you in? But the rush isn't done yet. More lings are coming.
Yeah,
Can we have, how good of a Tetris player is Hurricane here? How much can he block off with this? Because lings are not going to stop coming here. Force field and
Force field is
sick.
so clutch.
He's so good. He's so good.
This is a great hold. Now drones are being made, so that's when you know this is really getting hard. Oh, another one.
Look at the force field this time.
Traps him.
Damn.
Ouch.
Hurricane's so sick.
Well,
RagnaroK humiliated in that game. Wow.
A big deal for Hurricane, though, right? Round of 8 in GSL Cobalt.
And you know what?
Is an outstanding achievement.
He played like a round of 8 player.
Yeah, he's playing so well right now. He played fantastically during Super Tournament, knocking out Rogue, looking very, very strong throughout. And here he is. He just knocked out RagnaroK, who is definitely an up-and-coming player at the moment. Wow. Good stuff. I'm sad to see RagnaroK go.
Yeah.
If he keeps playing as well as he is, though, he's going to be added to my team of Leanox.
That's right.
I'm going to call them the Leanox. They're led by Leanox.
Yeah.
RagnaroK might be the second recruit.
I call them Artosis' round of 16 angels. We're going to go to an interview now and see how Hurricane feels. He has survived to the round of 8. Andy, take it away.
Hello, we're going to have an interview with Hurricane, the winner of tonight's last match. Congratulations. Thank you.
커리어 갱신 축하드립니다. 소감 어떠세요?
Congratulations on getting your career high.
자, 이 자리에 이렇게 올라오기까지 너무 오래 걸린 것 같고.
You know, it's been a long time coming here,
준비 열심히 한 게 또 결과가
and I'm just glad that my preparation bore
적의
fruit.
올인을 막고 두 주먹 불끝.
In the second game, you know, the spellbinding game, you defended the Zergling rush so well.
정말 축하드립니다.
Again, congratulations.
마지막에는 워낙 공격적으로 임하셨기 때문에 오늘 내내 마지막에는 방심하시지도
In the final round, you know, I thought you might be like letting your guard down, but you're defending so well.
일단 마지막 세트에서
In the last set,
그렇게 할 거라고 솔직히
I
살짝 느낌이 오긴 했어요.
kind of anticipated that the enemy would actually pull that move.
네.
오늘 그 예전 저희 팀
The reason why
병이 경기장 왔는데 그
is because back in the past,
경기한 거를 분석해가지고
I've actually analyzed one of his games, and then I found out that I should be cautious of this.
막는데 컸던 것 같아요.
And I think that's why I was able to anticipate it.
저는 오늘 테란전도 보고 이렇게
I've
저글도 봤지만
watched the Terran matchup, I watched the Zerg matchup, and you know, I'm just amazed at how proactive you are and how offensive you are in game.
제가 원래 정석적인 플레이
I'm like, you know, I try to go with the conventional Terran build,
공격적으로 많이 해왔거든요.
and these days I've been playing pretty offensively as well. And you know, I've just been playing offensive and defensive. You know, I've been mixing
내가
it.
주도권을 잡으면서 플레이하는 걸 좋아하세요?
생각해 보면은
You know, thinking about it, you know, back in the past, I always try to grasp the momentum in the games, and I felt like that's how you actually win.
오늘 이렇게 테란전, 프로토스전, 저그전 다 보여주셨습니다.
seen all the races
준비하기도
today.
쉽지 않으셨을 텐데 사실
And I'm sure you prepared a lot.
2년 만에 얻은 두 번째 16강 기회였거든요.
And this
준비는
is your
어떻게
chance
하셨는지
of
궁금해요.
qualifying into the round of 8
일단은 제가
in 2 years.
푸드전이 지금 너무 안 돼요, 솔직히. 연습
You know, I definitely need to practice more right now.
대회에서 하면은 되게 말리는 부분이 많더라고요.
And I try to, I tend to play worse on stage.
네.
And there's little time, so I need to play well against Terran matchup.
생각하면서 빌드만 생각하고 연습은 거의 안 했고요.
네.
그렇게 준비했던 것 같아요.
테란전을 제일 열심히 하셨다고 했는데
You said that you
저도
prepared for the
테란전을
Terran matchup the
어떤
most.
선수랑 어떻게 했는지 굉장히 궁금했거든요.
Who did you scrim with?
테란전은 일단 경재형이랑 좀 많이 했고.
Yeah, I scrimmed against Gumio
도 연습 한번 도와줘가지고
and Bunny, and they've helped me a lot.
정말 그 사이버 포레스트에서도 그
In
공격적인
Cyber
매력이
Forest,
정말
you know,
잘
your
드러났었던
offensive
것 같아요.
play really just
그런데
was so mesmerizing.
정션은 너무 신낸 거 아니에요?
솔직히
네.
좀 많이
Honestly,
유리한 걸 저도 게임하면서 알아가지고.
I felt
네.
like I did have the upper hand
좀
in the games, and I tried to make the game as entertaining as possible.
잘 안 통해가지고 그렇게 결과가 나왔던 것 같아요.
네, 그런 순간도 있었지만 위기를 잘 수습하고
You know,
오늘
you've
이렇게 멋진
definitely,
8강 진출
put a great move today.
자, 8강은 더 많이 준비해야 할
Round of
거예요.
8,
지금
you're going to prepare a lot.
고병재, 원희삭, 백동준, 어윤수 와 연습을 도와준 고병재 선수들 이렇게 다 기다리고 있네요.
You know, the Group B
그럼
guys,
고병재 선수
Gumio,
만나볼까요?
Sue, and everyone else.
최대한 피하고 싶고.
Who do you want to play
네.
against?
만나더라도 좀 더 높은 곳에서 만났으면 좋겠어요.
그럼 누구?
I want to meet them as late as possible.
누구 있죠?
원희삭 선수 있고
There's
백동준,
Parting.
어윤수.
There's Gumio, there's Deer, there's Sue.
셋다 힘든데요.
All of those guys are very
다
formidable
어려운 것
opponents.
같다 이야기를 하셨습니다. 와, 나의 GSL 8강 어떻게 하고 싶다.
My
드림이
GSL
있을 것
round of
같은데요.
8.
마지막으로 8강 가고 들어보겠습니다.
How do you feel right now?
8강도 지금처럼 준비
The round of 8,
많이 열심히
I'll
준비해서
prepare really hard
대회에서 침착하게 해야 될 것 같고
and try to play as calm as possible on
저한테
stage.
경기하기 전에 되게 조언도 많이 해주고 그랬던 형도
And
있고 사람들이 몇 명 있어요.
Thanks to all the
그 사람들
kind
다
people who gave me
다들
advice
힘들지
before my
괜찮아요.
matches.
뭐 일단 아빠도 있고
I would like
뭐
to give a shout out to my dad
여기 통역 해주셨던 그 종현이 형도
and my
되게 많이
translator that I had.
조언해주셨고, 네. 재경이 형도 대기실에서 힘내라고 이제 옵저버
and the observer brother who helped me
네,
in the lobby.
알겠습니다. 다시 한번 진출 축하드립니다.
Once again,
감사합니다.
congratulations.
네, 지금까지 두 번째 8강 진출자 남기웅 선수 만나봤는데요.
Alright.
오늘 경기
Thank you,
최종
Andy.
정리 확인해 보겠습니다.
Thank you, Andy. So, we have tonight advancing 2 of our 8 Protoss players. Will the trend continue? I don't think so, Tasteless.
I don't think so. I mean, Classic was the one who was. I mean, if history means anything, he's the guy who was actually supposed to advance, right? Hurricane, I'm actually very happy to see advance. I know that there's going to be a lot of salty viewers that wanted RagnaroK or Fantasy. I get it, I really do. But look, Hurricane has not played anywhere near as well historically as he is now, and he's completely prepared. He's prepared for crazy all-ins that might have just swept the game away from him. Yeah, anyways, you guys saw the games. You get it. Look, coming up on Saturday, that's at 1 p.m. KST. We're finally back to the normal GSL Cobalt schedules. We've kind of caught up for the year. Gumiho, Parting, Deer, and Sue. That's going to be a great group. It's really tough to call who's going to get out of there. Of course, Parting being back, the 2013 world champion?
Yes.
2013
2012.
world.
Sorry.
2012, yeah. There's for some reason my brain.
Is SOS.
Yeah. The fact that he is back and playing well, and he's got that crazy Parting style, it makes it an even tougher group to call as far as who's going to get out.
There's so many, like, whatever happens there, it's going to be fun.
By the way, guys, we will be back on twitch.tv/StarCraft for the KSL tomorrow night and Friday night. That's at 7 p.m. KST.
That's right.
So you can always join us there if you're feeling lonely.
We just hit the round of 8 there, so
yes.
I mean, it's a great time to watch some of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year of StarCraft so far.
It is. It has been. It will continue to be. So many good things going on. Pylon Show tomorrow morning. Make sure you check that out.
That's right. Tasteless podcast is out. Get that anywhere you get your podcast. I keep forgetting to plug it in the cast. I keep saying I'm going to mention it somewhere, and then I forget. So check that out.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Protoss move on.
Night. It was a good night.
Will it be an all Protoss GSL Artosis?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. The fans are going to be very disappointed to hear you say that. Hang on to your tickets if you're here in the studio. We have a giveaway at the end of the show. And we've got, like, I think it's a photo book of the players.
That's a very
Season
rare
2.
thing. We've just switched over to
We're
Season
giving
2.
away these collectible items that you can't get unless you're down here in the
This
studio.
is probably the last one you'll ever see that doesn't have Maru in it, so that's going to make it ultra rare.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I guess that's it. I guess there's nothing else to say, guys. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow for KSL, and we'll see you for GSL Code S on Saturday at 1 p.m. We love you. Bye-bye.
Those days were endless and full of dreams. You were mine in the heat of summertime. We were deathless. Those days were endless and full of dreams. This is my world.
Let's make it count.
I must practice tolerance. Next, GSL Season 2.
Renaissance.